you know, it's been a while since we've seen this roster of Lucky Bird. See, as you can see, they were under Alpha before. You know, so trying to forget those times on Alpha. You know, a fresh start here in the TI qualifiers. See how they go.
Is. I'm really just keen to see what Karua can do on the Lifestealer. I think this core matchup up against PA is awkward, to say the least. You can build into Silver Edge as Lifestealer. Not ideal. You can certainly go for the MKB, but it's not like a rush item you'd want to get on Lifestealer to PA. If it does get a good lane, which with a silencer, it shouldn't be too bad. Once this PA gets Battle Fury, you're going to be out farming this Lifestealer for the most part. So that's really where the momentum really has to come in for Lucky Bird, in that Steel has to buy that space for the Lifestealer. You have to be able to hunt down this PA. You have to prevent her from just having a smooth game, because if that Battle Fury timing's delayed, PA can feel really bad to play from behind.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe a bit of a fight over the bounty runes, but it seems like they're just going to let them go. Maybe Blessed Kid fights top, but no, he just leaves them be. It's like it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade anyway, so a very even start. Do we start off with the mid lane here, John? Like, you have Red 2 here on the Ember, of course. He's going to be up against Steel on the Timbersaw. I feel like you already talked about this during the draft phase, but do you want to refresh us, Jonathan, as to how this lane should go?
It'd be a lot better for Steel. Like, it's a melee matchup for Timbersaw. Maybe the first 2 levels, if Red 2 does decide to go for some, like, Chains or Flame Guard, it can be a little bit more awkward for Steel. You can't really burn through the Flame Guard. But at the same time, once you hit level 3 here on the Tim, it starts to stabilize. And if you can play around whenever Flame Guard's down, it shouldn't be too tough for Steel. Red 2 is just doing a fine job. Level 1 is where the Ember can really feel good. And if you can dodge out the Whirling Death, and that does pull the bite away from the Timbersaw in the matchup. So it's down to outplaying here for Red 2, but it is definitely a little bit easier to just farm and
top
lane here for Steel.
Well, Bleskid's just taking a lot of damage here on this Beastmaster. Will survive for now, though the chase is on from Bloody Nine, and he might just have it. With the curse out, Bleskid to eat a tango. He's trying to survive just a little bit longer, but Bloody Nine just chasing him down. Eventually going to hand over the vision, but the disruption. Oh, he can't finish the job. Bleskid salves up. He's going to survive. Bloody Nine now the one in trouble. Should barely make it out. The Wild Axe is clipping him, but it's not enough. He will survive, but oh, Bleskid, he's going to be feeling very good about that one.
Now that is huge. Good save coming out from Braxy that enables him to get first blood down bot as well. And you can see how annoying that Hawk is. I mean, you're still hanging around here as Bleskid, but that dive bombing Hawk, man, up against melee cores, you do not feel good farming your lane at all.
Oh, hold on a minute. Bleskid gonna get jumped again. Braxy will save with disruption. Bloody Nine trying to get close enough for the arcane curse. Does land it, but I don't think it's gonna be enough damage. Bleskid again will survive. Braxy proving to be more than enough with that level 1 disruption, just keeping his Beastmaster alive constantly. No, I'll tell you, Johnny, this is the feeling I miss, right? Just having a new patch where everything's changed and you haven't had the chance to play it, so everything's just a surprise to you. That Hawk just looked ridiculous.
It's pretty dumb, especially once you can kind of overlap the Hawks, and that's where it can feel really odd. That is still down the line. Again, the save coming out from Braxy did allow them to get first blood as well into Kaya. So your Venge lane's already going very nicely here for Lucky Bird, having a pretty decent time farming up in Karua, which is what you expect for the Lifestealer up against Darkseer. Darkseer can only really kick into gear once the level 2 Iron Shell's up. Even then, you're not going to be looking for the kill threat onto the Lifestealer necessarily. So a passive lane, especially for the Tiny 4, is where things start to get really awkward for DogChamp. You're just not able to really chase down the Lifestealer. And if you try to chase down Venge, well, you just magic missiles and runs anyway. She has pretty decent rage to cut off your aggression. So a little less straightforward for DogChamp in comparison to Alpha's offlane, to Lucky Bird's offlane. And that should give a lot more room for that Lifestealer to start to build up here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's certainly having a very good time so far. Speed trying his best to just get his own farm going on the Darkseers, because it's really all you can do. Toss back from Moose onto Karua. Vacuum back as well. Karua, he's going to be just fine. It's a nice toss back from Moose. A lot of damage being dealt towards the Lifestealer, but ultimately to actually secure the kill is going to take a lot more than that. I suppose for Moose, just creating more space for Speed is all he really wants anyway.
Yeah, you just kind of want to play the farming lane here. Don't take too many risks. Try to cut off as much as you can from Karua. Make it painful for him to come up to the wave when the Iron Shields are up, but again, you're not able to fully commit for that aggression. A little bit of aggression for the water rune, so it's still Red 2 does manage to find or at least the bottle refill, but this is one thing you can do with your Beastmaster thing. He can hold lane solo, so you can try to rotate. You can try to get some stacks here for Braxy. He has built up quite a few stacks. It's going to be a lot of farm for Blessed Kid or Steel to find down the line. No scouting just yet from DogChamp. They're just stuck in their lanes. They can't really contest or even get the information out here.
Yeah, I give it to him. Like, this offlane of Lucky Bird has been very impactful already. Like, you kind of talked about it, but the stacks being made by Braxy and the amount of disruption saves we've seen from the man, like, just the impact he's had already is quite impressive. Bottom lane, maybe thinking about going for a bit of a dive in onto Speed. Speed turning around with a double Iron Show with Moose. Trying to see if they can secure some kind of kill, but both heroes do get away. Moose does have level 1 Avalanche available, but just didn't see the opening that time around. Could still try for Takaya, but is going to lose vision. With that, this bottom lane does remain quite passive, though. You look at Speed's farm. Like, he's top of the CS board now on that Darkseer. And although, like, he's not really slowing down Karua too much, I dare say him getting this much farm is going to be a point of concern for the side of Lucky Bird. So here we go. Jump in. With Speed, he can just surge away. You've got no way of purging that off.
Nothing like the Enchant in hand here just to stop that runaway. So you're pretty set here for Speed. Has the Vanguard up, which means that the aggression onto him shouldn't be too bad.
Still, has he gone too far? Bloody Nine gets in with the last word. Blood Grenade landing as well. Still, he's going to try to get his way out of this, but Red 2 now with the chase down of the chains. Still, oh, he almost got the kill, but not quite. He will go down as Red does avoid all the damage, though not quite. He's eventually going to die to Takaya. So the support rotations are going to pay off quite nicely. Bloody Nine also going down as a second, and Takaya, he'll even find the courier of Bloody Nine, but in comes Moose from the side. Toss up, it will land on Takaya. They'll at least find the Venge, but Braxy will find a regen rune. He should be just fine a turn now. Moose is the one being hunted once again. He'll go for a run. He may be just fine. Still cannot keep up. Though it seems like Braxy's going to keep trying with the Shadow Poison, but no, he'll give up on it. Gets 3 stacks, that's going to be enough for him.
Doesn't get too greedy, doesn't look for that kill. And Lucky Bird, rotation's starting to pay off. Red 2 still pretty happy with finding that kill, denying some EXP away from Steel, getting some control back in his lane. The one thing for Lucky Bird is all these kills are on Takaya, which maybe is not the ideal, but it's also not the worst thing to have Avenge with farm and some EXP. The impact you get with magic missile levels is huge. So you are starting to kind of hit the stride here with your supports. Again, you've still got these stacks to fall back to. They are being pinged out. Steel could look to take them himself with the reactive and the chakram.
Disruption was out. The Blessed Kid, he started running towards him, but doesn't have a level 6 yet for the Raw to be up. It's a bit of a aggressive disruption, just a bit of a throwaway as bottom lane. Karua got ensnared up by the creeps, I believe. He's going to go for a chase on Moose. Can't really do too much here as the life stealer. We'll just continue his farm, though Moose trying to be as annoying as possible, it seems.
You're at the point where you can afford to leave Karua alone to farm. Despite finding that build-up for speed, again, you're not really slowing down the life stealer too much. He's crashing up top.
Yeah, Roar is out. DNM, he's going to be able to blink strike away, but the magic missile is going to land perfectly. And Blessed Kid does secure himself a kill now on the Beastmaster. And I'll tell you, if one guy is having a real damn good time, even though the net worth doesn't really show it, it feels like this Beastmaster is getting a bit too much.
That it certainly is. Hitting the timings early, having that 6, getting that kill, no saves coming out from the side of DogChamp. And it is an Ags build-up here as well for Blessed Kid, so he's trying to work up against what Speed will want to do in the middle of these team fights with those drums of Slom. DNM does go back to lane, but it's feeling really hard to contest. Just the magic missile spam from Takaya is tough.
They'll find Blessed Kid at least. Nice avalanche toss back from Moose. That should be one going down, and they do find the primary target in Blessed Kid. Supports will be able to get their way out of there. Of course, this is buying plenty of time now for Steel and, of course, Karua. who are both top of the net worth board at the moment as the Lifestealer and Timber. Closely followed by Speed. So it seems like top lane, the action does kind of continue. DNM, they'll take a magic missile, but we'll be fine to just walk away from that. They've got their Beastmaster back up now as well, so you do see the rotation back in from Bleskid towards the top lane. So even Red 2 shows up now. They're going to try and maybe force a fight. Bloody 9 will scout out the Beastmaster. Takaya in the meantime being chased by Red 2, it seems, as Takaya already so damn low in HP. It seems like Red 2 just not feeling it, does back his way out.
He decides to play it safe. Try to get some spacing here for DNM. And that Battle Fury time you were talking about here for DNM, it is stalled out. It's not the smoothest lanes for the PA. Quite a fair bit behind, especially in comparison to Karua. So you should expect that tempo to start to kick in from Lucky Bird. And it's going to be difficult to really force them away. Like, they are highly durable with this lineup. They've got the saves with Swap and Disruption. Their mid is being shoved in. Raxi's just hanging around waiting for an opportunity to maybe get some of his team back here.
A lot of damage being taken by this tier 1 tower. Here come the rotations. They're going to try with the disruption out. But Lee's caught Red for now, but Red is just casually walking. Instead, they'll go for moves on the Tiny. A much easier kill to secure. Takai is still going for a bit of a chase, but has no form of disable left. So Red 2 will be just fine to walk his way out. But Lucky Bird, they do successfully defend the tier 1 mid tower. Like, they'll lose half its HP, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. They'll be alright with that.
And the bigger thing is that they managed to take this tier 1 top. So it just makes it a lot worse for DNM to kind of feel safe in his own jungle, try to farm up. Really good forward wards already coming out from Lucky Bird as well. With that early ward in the dark jungle up top, although not into the deeper jungle in the top lane. More than enough to cut off some of that farming patterns. And again, the side of Lucky Bird still have control of their triangle. Like, the stacks are being cleared out now by Blessed Kid. And this Ags build-up not going to take too long for the Beastmaster, which means that your big teamfight reveal with Speed, it's not going to feel as insane if this Beastmaster does take point. Again, you've got a burst damage issue here on the side of DogChamp. Like, what do you do about a Timbersaw running up front with a Lifestealer infested? It's a lot of HP. You're mainly stuck with physical damage on DNM. Your magical damage, it's not burst. So there's always some outplay potential here for Lucky Bird if things go southbound.
Speaking of southbound, they are running south right now. The side of Lucky Bird, Takaya and Braxy both smoked up, running towards Speed, though I can say the exact same thing in the Radiant Triangle. Bleskid gonna get caught out by the chains of Red 2, and he's gone. But bottom, can they at least get the trade with Speed? Now, Speed seems to know something is a little bit awry. They do get a nice swap off with the vision provided by the Wave of Terror, but Speed is just gonna TP right in front of them. The global silence. It gives them enough time. 4 heroes just surrounding him, John. They could do nothing about it.
Yeah, managed to get the Surge to speed away, forces out the swap and the stun early, and the coordination from DogChamp just to bail out. Pretty big. Speed probably just yelling to get himself out there. A lot of time wasted while they found that kill onto Blessed Kid. So it is working in DogChamp's favor, keeping the game rather even. You are still getting what you'd want here on Lucky Bird for sure. This early start for Karua is still... It's still to be respected, and he is rushing straight for the MKB, so he's not going for any sort of durability, he's not going for any sort of farm here.
Top lane, you see Bloody 9 going down. He actually got roared up by Blessed Kid. He went for a TP attempt with the Lotuses he had, and he got rooted by the damn Hawk Dive thing. So, yeah, what can you do? It happens. Bottom lane, bit of a chase here into Karua with the Lifestealer illusion. Not gonna mean too much for Karua. He just kind of man-fight it back. Speed's still playing around, but ultimately the illusion will be taken out.
Speed?
Yeah, he's gonna try. Speed's a bit too far forward. He's gonna try for a TP play again, but disruption is there. The Speed should have very well known that the disruption could have come out because he did get purged up by the demonic purge. So, bit of a misplay from Speed, just completely out of position. A bit too overly confident on the darks here, and he does get punished this time around.
Some good punishment coming out from Lucky Bird. For DogChamp's credit, though, this is taking attention away from the area that DNM is playing in. So this is some much-needed space. Someone's got to cop it on the map. Might as well be your Darks here. At the same time, it is stalling out his timings. He's trying to go for the mech into the pipe, trying to go for the auras, maybe a Crimson Guard down the line as well if he feels it's necessary. And for Lucky Bird, it still plays into their timings. As Red 2.
Very aggressive plays here coming out from the Timber. In fact, Red 2, he's going to be the one to survive because Steel goes down. The supports are ready. With the global silence available, it's very hard to get away here for Steel, and well, he will be punished now for his over-aggression. And speaking of, Braxy, towards the right side of the map, may get caught by Moose, who has very good game sense to find him in that tree line and cancel the TP off. And Braxy, I mean, he can run, but he cannot hide. He is certainly just dead.
Yeah, they're still going mid as well.
Why the hell not? Takaya. I really just cannot run away. Bloody Nine taking more int away from the side of Lucky Bird. They are TPing it to try and defend this tier 1 mid tower. They will do so as Red 2 does remnant away. That tier 1, I mean, it is on its last legs right now, Don. Like, one more small push will probably have it. And sadly for Lucky Bird, it seems like they are slowly dropping the ball.
They're finding openings on the side of DogChamp, and Moo's just doing a great job of having a lot of impact on this Tiny Four. Again, this is the hero that we've seen him play for years now. It's something he loves. They're managing to get that output, and that's him without the blink. Once he gets the blink up, you're going to have even more angles to take here. You're buying a lot of space out for DNM. Battle Fury up and running now on the PA. Should be able to start to hit her farm stride and some of her early timings here. Mind you, Karua is inching towards his full MKB, just lacking that demon edge.
That's a big pick-off. Still, he just dies so quickly once he had the silences out from Bloody Nine. All it takes is the last word, and he just can't go anywhere. Desperately needs something like the Yules or the Lotus, and he is farming up the Yule Scepter, but it is a while away for the Timber.
Yeah, he's not getting too much space out. He's clumping up mid, he's trying to defend his tower. It's rather interesting that Lucky Bird is playing this way, because after clearing out the top tier 1, they're not applying pressure in that area, right? Like, you're not taking over the jungle there, you're not able to just try to stop DNM farming, you're instead focusing on your mid, which doesn't feel like the bigger objective here.
We're out. Red 2, he'll cop it. Roots out as well. The dive bomb, but ultimately the power room was down at bottom lane, so none of it really means anything, as Red 2 now being chased down, but Moose is in first with the avalanche toss combination. They've got Takaya. Takaya goes down. Speed with a grave back wall out on 2. Blessed Kid, he's trying to fight back. Braxy goes down meanwhile on the Shadow Demon. As Red 2, he's gone too far this time around on the Ember. He'll try to remnant away, but it's not going to be enough. At least Moose does salvage, as now Kahlua needs to find a way out of this. DNM still chasing down Karua, trying to arm the toggle with the best he can. So he will go for the infest onto Steel. Eventually DNM is forced to blink strike away. Close calls here for the side of Lucky Bird. I mean, to be fair, they do commit a buyback on the Shadow Demon, which I believe is not paying off very nicely for Braxy. Does almost go down a second time by Moose. Lucky Bird in the meantime still chasing down Moose, will eventually find it. They do punish the Tiny for this over-aggression. Overall, though, it still feels like a bit of a win for DogChamp.
You get some early activity out for DNM. You do manage to get some activity out for Karua as well. Again, he's forcing these fights without the full MKB, but the gold is coming in. So if the PA does decide to square off, then they're definitely just going to win that one. They are starting to get some good chip damage onto that tier 2, and again, this is what we've talked about earlier, just no burst damage on
Urgent disruption. Red's in big trouble. He's got no remnants available. He's just gone. They don't even mess around with him. They lock him down with the Rorder, ensure he dies. With the mid-tier 1 tower gone, it certainly opens up the map quite a lot here for Lucky Bird. DogChamp, it's still a very close game for them, but it seems like one bad team fight and it just keeps switching the game the other way.
Yeah. And for the side of DogChamp, like, they don't have the best map control. They managed to clear the bot tier 1 now. Again, the mid-tier 1 not too far off from dying if they can just get a little bit of pressure on. But this is the moment where Lucky Bird can start to work the map a lot better, right? Like, we saw what happened when Karua just runs in and infests onto Steel. They don't feel confident trying to go for that burst play. You just don't have the burst damage on hand right now for DogChamp. You can't take these prolonged fights either up against Lifestealer or Timbersaw if you're not careful. So they can pick off these softer targets, they can take care of at least the Beastmaster, but once everyone's clumped up, you don't really have a solution yet for that Timb and Lifestealer. They are starting to Roshan here. the side of DogChamp, smoked up as 2, but don't really have vision in the area.
Roy is very low on HP right now, but yeah, they don't seem to have a very good idea that Roshan is happening. I mean, it is a fairly early Roshan. They do have plenty of minus armor available on Takaya, which is why it's certainly possible for them to go for this. Disruption. From Braxi onto Red 2. Red, though, going to be able to remnant away just fine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now with the Aegis up on Lucky Bird, you are certainly looking very, very strong. So they may just want to take their time with this one, not rush it too much. At the same time, though, you probably don't want to give too much space to DNM to keep that farm going. Maybe just see what kind of objective you can take now with this Aegis up. But I'll tell you, John, with the MKB available on Karua, like, they are looking very strong now. There's a pretty big power spike for themselves on Lucky Bird.
Yeah, I like this readout. You know your big issue is just trying to take care of PA. She's all of your burst damage on hand here for DogChamp. Excuse me. So they can chase them down. So, smart build-up from Karua. Looking for a fast game, looking for that aggression. Not looking to sit back and farm and playing this game with DogChamp. Just wants to find that pressure, find these fights, and take the fight to DogChamp before they can escalate.
I mean, they've got the Desolator up now on DNM at the very least, so once the BKB is up, the PA will be pretty online, ready to go, but the DNM may be forced to fight a little bit earlier. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, like, Bless Kid, with Ags up, Pipe up now as well. Beastmaster's been a real headache for the side of DogChamp this game. Just getting those classic aura items just to ensure his team does remain alive. They get bursted down by all the magical bursts they do have on DogChamp. Red 2, in the meantime, is kind of being closed in on. Lucky Bird trying to see if they can get a jump onto the Ember. But Red is going to be just fine to walk his way out of the mid lane. Maybe top. They could find Bleskid perhaps on the Beastmaster. Bleskid, I mean, he's going to clear the tree line with the Wild Axes. Problem is, though, he's completely surrounded by heroes from DogChamp. And he's just gone. Nice rotations here from the Dyrant.
That's something you need desperately on DNM. Getting some Desolator charges up.
Oh, nice
Might be able to
chains.
find more.
Yeah, they found 2. Takaya immediately bursted down. Karua, he's going to try and fight this one out, but with the rage going down, they might try to go for the jump in. He does have Aegis up, but it feels like you may be able to deal with him 2 times. Speed jumps in with the back wall. He found 2 targets with that. Karua's locked down completely. That's 1. It's a 2v5 anyway. Surely there's no way this Lifestealer makes it. He's going to try for the reach TP out, and it's not going to be it. It's not enough. Close but no cigar. Suddenly 4 heroes down for Lucky Bird. DogChamp, they will certainly get away with murder.
That is massive. Again, more charges coming out for DNM. Starting to really spike online. And Lucky Bird, they're just preemptively using this infest for an infest bomb, but it almost feels like what you want to do is play with it defensively. You know, just come in, run up as 2. When someone drops low, get the infest on to steal, and you're starting to feel like gravy. Again, the burst damage is the big issue here. You want to play with that defense, push your HP to its limits. Use it like a resource here in these engagements. And if you don't, DogChamp get to dance around here. Finding those opportunities, great back wall from Speed. And DNM, again, he's scaling up. BKB coming out next for the PA. You don't have anything that really pierces through outside of the roar. Although it does feel like Blessed has to make that big choice. Like, do you want to really roar up the PA, or do you want to pin down Red 2? Because that's your most consistent lockdown outside of Magic Missile. It's just really roar Magic Missile, and I guess Disruption, which isn't that... It isn't the best in terms of trying to look for opportunities. Still trying to smoke up here.
Red, he's still going to be able to make it. Takaya looking for a swap play, but it is a level 1 swap, so the range is quite small. Sadly, he was almost level 12. Probably wouldn't have been enough anyway. To be fair, Red 2 looked like he was perfectly fine. Now, like, top of the net worth board is DNM. You kind of talked about this already, but he's almost got the BKB up. That's the scary timing here for DogChamp to go into Lucky Bird. And once the BKB is there, I just don't know how you stop these guys. Like, you talked about the Roar, but they certainly do have more than one target they have to prioritize with that. They're going to try and pressure the top lane. Maybe force a bad team fight here from DogChamp. See if DogChamp want to try and force the fight. Like, do you really care about this top T2 tower anymore? I feel like the answer is no.
You've gotten your value out. You have speed split pushing bot as well. They're focused way elsewhere on the side of DogChamp. They just want this Battle Fury, this BKB done on DNM. And they're getting the space to do that. They're not playing into what a Lucky Bird wants to do here. So dodging out quite nicely. I think the one thing as well for Lucky Bird here is that you didn't manage to... I mean, you've got the shard up on Braxy, so you've got some save with the Demonic Cleanse, but for a Shadow Demon, it does feel like this hero really excels when you're trying to turtle, right? And we saw those big stacks earlier. We haven't really seen time or space to kind of get stacks going again. So he's not able to passively farm up into the Ags for charges on the Demonic Cleanse and Purge. And that also takes away a lot from these fights. Like, the Demonic Purge can be a big tool up against that BKB, but you've only got the one charge. And again, it feels like you have to decide whether you want the PA gone or the Ember gone. You can't take care of both of them here at once.
Now the shards up on Bloody 9. Obviously, you probably prefer the shards on someone like DNM, to be fair, but won't get it for now. Maybe a bit later on, once some more shards are out. In fact, he's already queued up the Ags and the shard on the PA, so it looks like he's not going to bother waiting. He'll just buy it out himself. I mean, the Fan of Knives is like a lot of value this game against heroes like the Timber, to be fair, so even against the Lifestealer, it's not going to feel too nice. So can't quite blame DNM for wanting to go down this itemization. Pretty standard PA build-up anyway, I suppose.
Yeah. The Ags especially just does so much for you. Lower cooldown blur, managing to dance around, look for your angle, re-engage, disengage quite nicely, refresh skills with Fan of Knives is going to be big. And DogChamp looking to be aggressive down bot, forcing in that lane for any stragglers. The side of Lucky Birdo sticking to their own triangle, trying to get some farm up, not playing into what DogChamp would want either, but they're just gating across once more. I mean, if you take control of one side lane, you can take control of both. Just get across, no problem.
Top lane. Big group up here from DogChamp. Lucky Bird, they are around the area if they wanted to try and go for a fight, but they are lacking a lot of information. They would be fighting under DogChamp's vision as well. Bleskid's going to show himself at the top lane. Red 2, or Moose, he's going to jump in. Avalanche tosses out. They've already found the Beastmaster, but a nice swap from Takaya. Or is it the Vac wall out from speed, catching 3 targets? Still completely surrounded. He'll go for a run. He'll try to find a way out of this, but it's not looking too good for him. He's gone. And you know what, John? That swap, I said it was a nice swap, but he was mid-roar animation on DNM, I believe. So that swap kind of cancelled the roar out. I don't necessarily think that would have changed anything in the fight, but I suppose you never know.
You never know, and the side of Lucky Bird are playing a little bit too fragmented. Where they excel is when they play as a team. You know, you can start to, again, play with that secondary HP injection with the Infest. Your answer to the PA and the Lifestealer can still work out, especially while the Fan of Knives aren't up yet on the NM, but again, they're just fragmented, trying to get their own farm, and this is where DogChamp start to shine. With a Phantom Assassin ready to go, burst down heroes, the damage output is pretty ridiculous, especially since Desolator got that buff up from 20 to 30 damage bonus. So slot efficiency for that item is way up. Gold efficiency for the item is way up as well. And, you know, once that's top up, it's just going to feel even worse.
Such a shame. I mean, speaking of feeling worse, Sean, I'm looking at the replay here, and not only did he get his Raw cancelled by the swap, but he got silenced immediately after the swap. Yep. That's just so sad. Like I said, I don't necessarily think it would have made the big difference anyway, but wouldn't have felt very good. As Takaya, he's not feeling too good either. He gets taken down immediately. Karua, he is not looking too tanky, John. He's going to try and fight back with the Rage out on DNM. But now with the Rage expiring, they want to go for the chase. He'll go for the Infest onto the Timber, try to get Still out of there. Still, he'll chain away, but the chase is on and he's caught out. In fact, they've caught another. Braxy's gone. Karua completely surrounded. Cannot 5v1. It's Bleskid. From a mile away, they'll catch him. Bleskid is also down. DNM's completely out of control. This PA, he's got a full Ags on the way now, John. I don't see how you turn this game anymore.
It's got to be off the back of a much more coordinated fight out from
8K
Lucky Bird.
damage.
Yeah, that's what PA does now. You know, it just does so much. Like the coup de grace change just brings it to the roof. And again, this is going to scale up with Deso having even more damage coming out here for DNM once he can max out the charges. Roche is now open as well. For the side of DogChamp is still up top, although they only have about a minute to clear. They've gone to damage with DNM anyway. And for the side of Lucky Bird, again, it's really down to how well you can push your limits. How well can you use HP as a resource? Now, if you can try to get these defensive infests, which we did see a little bit of in the last fight, just didn't really work out well. I just feel like you need to be able to isolate, to dance around these BKB usages out from DNM, or just get the instant roar off onto him and try to play it for burst. It's one of those two that has to come out here. DogChamp with the Roche Aegis cheese up on DNM. 2 lives in a PA. If you manage to isolate her, it is feasible. Steel.
They don't have the break right now against Steel. No fan of knives available yet from DNM, so it's not that easy to deal with the Timber.
Yeah. It's flying out now, though, so it will be easier in just literally a few seconds here. Just a little bit more patient or found a different target would definitely have been another stack up for that Deso. Lucky Bird, they're losing out a lot in map space. Like, we saw them take early control a while ago. This stems back to that decision to push mid or defend mid instead of applying aggression top.
Oh, Bleskid's gone. Look at that. 2 crits in a row, that'll do ya. Onto the tier 2 bottom tap. It's like, what do you do to stop this guy now?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It really does start to feel impossible against this PA. Full BKB, Aegis up, cheese in the backpack,
Radiant's middle
Ags
tower
and Shard. It's like, what are you actually going to do to kill this guy?
Nothing. Like, it's so difficult with what DNM can get done. They take a tier 2 top, but that's not going to stop them from pushing here.
Radiant's
Tier 3 Talon, certainly not lasting very long.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire structures.
I'll go for the glyph, but tier 3 is certainly just down.
Radiant's
And they're trying to chip away the best they can with that wave of terror. Just slow this down as much as humanly possible. You're constantly at bay, right? Because you're scared of moves with the tossback plays. You don't want the chains into the tossback onto somebody, because that could just be a game at speed. He jumps in with a vacuum. And I mean too much, though. The Rax is gone. Meanwhile, top lane, Karula's just ratting the base of the Dire side. They've made the jump in. Moose might die. He does barely get away, though, as DNM just shreds 2 heroes. Takaya and Bleskid are both gone. And Karua, like, he got the top racks at least, or at least the range racks. But losing 2 heroes for that, I'm not sure if it's worth it, John. They've got no buyback.
No buyback, no way to defend the mid. It looks like they will actually take the full racks top. That's
Why not?
Creep Wave is doing a lot of work, but they're going to be trading 2 racks for this.
Let the creeps cook, you know, let them get it done. They need something right now. Karua, he'll survive. There goes your mid racks. It's just not going to survive. They could go for megas. They are going to go for megas. I mean, DogChamp, they're feeling it. Another 18 seconds without the Beastmaster. You might just have enough time to force another fight and just put an end to this game 1. There goes the tier 3 tower. 8 seconds left for their Beast. Red 2 jumping in, forcing them back already. And it seems like they'll get the melee. And there's just no reason to back with the Aegis up on the PA. I think Lucky Bird are just stuck between a rock and a hard place now as to what they can actually do to pull this game back their way. It's a pretty tough situation.
That it is. Again, it looked pretty decent when Kuru managed to find something, but gonna have to try to make something happen here.
Oh, Takaya. He's just gone. Braxy gonna get jumped as well. DNM, he can't take him out. In fact, DNM might die the first time with this Aegis, though he is still surviving. Does manage to blink away. Looking to maybe jump back in. It's Lucky Bird running back towards the fountain. Here comes DNM. Thinking about it, but won't quite jump in yet. Keep in mind, he still has 1 minute on the Aegis. The tossback is there on Karua. Karua is gone. There is a buyback available in the Lifestealer, but Lucky Bird, are they even considering it at this point? They'll jump in again. There's your buyback committed. DogChamp, they've seen enough. They'll back immediately. Reinitiate a little bit later on. And by later, I mean right now, apparently, because Red's just going into the fountain by himself, just keeping them at bay. Onto the tier 4s they go, but a huge vacuum into the avalanche. Perfect combination from DogChamp. Buyback's incoming, but doesn't really matter. DNM still not dying, still has the Aegis up, will go for the man fight against Karua, but this time they've got him. He wanted the reset anyway. Onto the tier 4s again. DogChamp still just standing their ground in front of this Radiant Fountain. Moose getting low, will survive. The secondary tier 4 tower about to drop, should go down and will.
Middle tower has fallen.
They are not calling GG, they're just kind of sitting in their base hoping for the best. The tossback is there on Karua now, and Karua, he's gonna die back. That's gotta be it. They are still not calling. Into the fountain we go. Takai's gone. And they never call it. GG is there, I suppose, and there you go. The letters eventually come out here from the side of Lucky Bird. DogChamp, I mean, a pretty rough start for their end of things, John, but